Hey everybody, how's it going? We're up here again just to do a little bit of fiddling today. Haven't really got a lot of time today because I had to do some other stuff this morning. So we're just going to start looking at the hydraulic side of things. So that mess there is going to have to come out. We're going to disconnect that line that goes back to the tank, work out what size that is, put the spool valve in, scrape all that crap off there, and got to unbolt that seat. I assume it's just nut and bolt. That might not be too bad. Get that out of our way so we can get that spool valve mounted. Yeah, and all the fun stuff. So sorry about the wind. She's pretty blowy at the moment here, which is typical of this area. So yeah, got some new suction hose there, as you can see. Don't know if it's the right size or not. I just dumped it there the other day when I was doing stuff. Yeah, if it's not, well, I'll just have to work something else out. It's probably some obscure size, knowing my luck, and it'll be really hard to find. Yeah, so it gets set up, and I think the first thing is we'll mount the spool valve. We've got some bolts there because we're going to have to drill new holes for that because it's not quite the same. I'm just looking. Yeah, there's a notch there. I don't know. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. That would have been to clear the pipe. So we've got this contraption. None of this is set up, like it's just lightly screwed in there. But yeah, modified the levers so they come up. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. Might have to bring them up a bit further. But yeah, that's tapped out to 3/4 BSPT. So that should be enough. We're going to change those fittings at some point. I think I've got those fittings there, I'm not quite sure. I have to check. That bloody wind. Yeah, so yeah, well, I'll get stuck into it, I suppose, and we'll see what we can get done before we run out of daylight. Alright, this is really awkward trying to do this. Move you guys up about there somewhere. Try and get rid of some of this caked on grease. This whole machine's going to have to be cleaned thoroughly, but just for what we're doing at the moment. Did have a proper scraper, but don't know where it is. I've obviously left that somewhere. Now, this thing. You still see, you still see what I'm doing. I'm actually starting to think maybe it went that way. Yes. It might have went that way. Oh. This is bloody awkward. That'd probably be more comfortable. Maybe. So they went. That would near match up with where they went. Can you see what I'm looking at? Yep, good. Our problem is you'll probably end up sitting on that lever. But I could just knock that one off with a grinder. I don't need the pair of them. I'm going to stop the camera for a minute and I'm going to have a good look and a think about how this is going to work. I'll bring you back. So I'm thinking the most likely scenario would be facing forward for that one. So I might have to put some 90-degree fitting. Oh, yeah, maybe I might have to put some 90-degree fittings on there. So that begs the next question, which hopefully someone out in internet land can help me answer. If I grab that thing out of there, go back around here. So I've got the fittings like that: return, feed. They're just screwed in lightly. I actually don't know which way this spool valve is supposed to work. Now I would assume that is a relief valve. Yeah, look, come back screen. Can't really see nothing in there. Look on this side. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the actual, I suppose you call them the spools themselves. So that makes me think that is feed, and that side's the return. I'm only sort of guesstimating this by what plumbing was already there, but this is not the same valve as the last one. So does anyone out there know which way this should flow? I'm thinking we should have the return on this side, but yeah, I'm no hydraulic expert, I'm not quite sure. And when I got this valve, there was nothing to I know the new ones, they have like a B, C, D, E, F, all the ports are sort of labelled and they correspond to what they should do. This not so much. So I'm thinking that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go forward with that. I might just take this lever off altogether because I reckon it will hit on the seat. Or you'll sit down and you'll bump the lever, I reckon, with your bum or leg. Which is fine, I don't need it. I only need one. Yeah, so that's my question to you guys. Which is the feed? I'm looking at that, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, this is the one with the plunger in it, because that'd be your adjustment to set the pressure, I would assume. So yeah, that's my question to you guys. Which way do you think this should flow? So there's not really much I can do with that now. I suppose I can drill the holes and can't even mount it yet because we've got to sort out what fittings. So the next question, or the next bit, is I've got all the parts for this, so we need to pull this off. We'll probably cut these hoses with the grinder, just because I want them here to keep stuff out of the rams. We need to sort out this, how that's threaded. I'm assuming that just threads in there. Which is pretty loosey-goosey. Alright, I'm going to get the grinder out. I'll mount you guys up there. Of course, I'll mount you somewhere where I can't bloody see what you're seeing. And the screen turns off on me. About there somewhere. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Hello everyone, we're back. I've lopped all them off. Tried undoing this here and she's awfully tight, so I don't know if these are threaded or nut and bolt or what the go is. I think they're actually threaded in there. I can't feel a nut on the bottom. Now, this is not the appropriate tool to be doing this with, but I've run out of, well, you know what I mean. Yep. It's cold, it's windy. To be honest, I probably wouldn't even bother doing this, but I didn't film anything last weekend, so I need to film something and keep this project rolling, because it's got to be done. I need to use this machine. I've got other projects that need this machine, so yeah, that's where we're at. Well, actually, back there. Go. Get rid of a bit of. Where'd that scraper go? It's actually a pry bar moonlighting as a scraper, but it works. Alright. Wish I knew when bloody scraper had gone. I'm sure it's around here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. So wind that out. I like this design, it's sort of very simple. Yeah. Now what the hell's the go here? Is that threaded in there? Oh, there's oil going everywhere. I think it is. That's alright. It's threaded in there too. Oil on the shifter. Just another typical day in the life of Joe. Wrong way, idiot. Oh, they're going to be tight, aren't they? Oh, that is tight. Awfully tight. Why do I do it? These... Oh, okay, so they're not even reusable fittings. Oh, shit, that one might be. Oh yeah, that's one out of... Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, that one has been replaced at some point, and that's a non-reusable fitting. So that's junk. These are reusable ones. So I'm going to zip that off so we can make that a bit easier to unwind. Hold on, I've got a visitor. I better deal with them first. Alright, I'm back. Now I wonder what thread this is all going to be. Now, is that threaded? No, that's just a swivel fitting. What do we got here? So I don't think this is the same size as everything else. This is a different size. Yeah, that's what I thought. That just screws in there. What do we got all? What's all this garbage here? Adapters and bloody... Ah, that might be a valve. Maybe let's look around here. Yeah, there's a valve in there. Okay, right. Not 100% sure why there'd be a valve there, but there is. Now, don't laugh. This is my solution to the problem. So that's 1/2 inch BSPT all the way round. I was going to put a joiner, which I've got in there, and I thought, well, it's only the return. So why don't we just weld it together? But what's this? Is this BSPT or oh, it is. Winner winner chicken dinner. So that's alright, so we can clamp that on there. So yeah, get rid of that. That's surplus to requirement now. So they should, in theory, might have tightened it all up and then clamp it on, but we should be able to, because I've got another one of these. So that'll sit there. Yeah, no, that'll work well. Yeah, well enough. Was AVE say good enough for the girls I go out with? That's going to be the story of today. So yeah, that line there, I'm just not going to worry about it. I don't think it's worth stressing over, because it's not a high pressure system on the downstroke. Because of having this line in it, it just tees it back to the tank. But I wonder, that's obviously a check valve. So I'm assuming that, I'm not quite sure, I'm just wondering which way it checks it. It would have to, well, it's got to go back to the tank, so I don't know. If you have any ideas, because when you put fluid, that'll have to go that way. Is it allowed to suck air? No. I don't. I'm trying to work all this out as I go. But essentially, I'm putting it all back pretty much to the way. Yeah, that's loose. I'll tighten that up. Putting it all back to the way it was, so it should just work. Alright, so I'm assuming, well, just screw this together, so this can stay now. So if I get the old shifter onto that. Now, I do not have two shifters, which is my bad. I do have a pair of vice grips though, so I might be able to make something work here. This is all mainly preliminary, sort of just seeing what's going to work and what's not for today. I wonder, can I get, yeah, I reckon I'll get another turn on that, I reckon. Hopefully. If not, we're in trouble. That's an annoying part. You end up getting it to a point where you're it doesn't help that I'm sort of leaning into the machine. Come on, be nice to me. Oh, bloody hell, nearly toppling in here. So that's gonna, oh, that actual hose is not real good. Alright, that's a smaller, I'm positive that's a smaller diameter, so that's not exactly gonna be, I'll have to get some more hose. Come on. So this is the problem with all this sort of stuff. It's far easier to do all this on the bench in a vise, not like this. That's not. Oh yeah, that might work. I might leave that for the moment, but yeah, that essentially will look a bit like that. See, that still lets us. Oh yeah, no, that'll work. Also too, got to keep the schmoo out of there. You don't want dirt all in that. Oh. Alright, so that's that bit. I'm happy with that, that'll sit there nicely. What next can we do? I'm just trying to work this out because yeah, I don't got to work out what I can do because we've don't have a lot of daylight either. How much battery? Oh, we don't have much battery either. Everything's running low today. Yay! Yeah. way. This is loose, so probably a good idea to, you know, see why. Oh yeah, probably that bolt here that's loose. Alright, don't mind me, just lost a bit of battery. So, fresh battery. So we're back. I tightened this up. It's got 3 bolts across the front. Good, stripped. So, yeah, you win some, you lose some. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So next bit we're gonna tackle is the next fitting. So bang that in there. It's got a bit of PTFE liquid sealer. I don't know if it needs it, but it's getting it. Probably should have put on this one as well, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. I've got a bit of a story to tell you about this machine too. We'll do that right at the end of the video. A bit of interesting history. So you sort of see where I'm going with this now, I hope. So that'll be their outlet, an outlet, well, yeah, I suppose it's called outlet, but spool valve in the top, same as it was before, 1 cylinder, other cylinder. Just, yeah, just using what I can get and what's, you know, readily available. I probably could modify what was there, like cut and shut those pipes and make it work, but yeah, no. Just no. One of those things. So I'll tighten this up as tight as I can get it with this sort of arrangement. I really need to get it undone there, and I can put that in the vise and give it hell. But yeah, that hose is not real good. That's going to have to be replaced as well, but that means I'm going to have to get another different size lot of fittings. I'll reuse those ones. Another meter of whatever size that hose is. I don't really know, because at the moment everything is either 1/2 inch or 3/4. The only thing that I've got to adapt is up on the tank. I thought it was 1 inch, so I got an 1 inch to 3/4 reducer, male to female, but no, it turns out it's bigger than that. It's maybe 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches or so. I've got to get a big enough shifter so I can undo it, and yeah, just try and, you know, sort it out. This is the problem, you know, besides not being able to hold on to this. Yeah, your best laid plans come awry when you realise you don't have the right size fittings. I was going to get a guy to come and do it, but yeah, it's just a lot of money. Well, it's already a lot of money. I think at the moment, I think I worked it out, between hose and fittings is about $700 at the moment. It's getting close to what I paid for the whole machine. This is why people don't fix old stuff like this. Right. Yeah, it just gets very costly very quickly. Well, it's just, here's what it is. Yeah, that should work. So yeah, that's one. There's the other one. If you see where I'm coming from. Yeah, no, that should work. Alrighty. Yeah, so well, the next bit is probably actually starting to bloody make hoses and stuff. I don't know if I'm really set up today to start punching out hoses. Also got to watch a few videos on how you do it. I've watched one, And it seemed pretty simple. I've never done it before. Because we're using the reusable, well, I'm using the reusable style fittings, so you can do them yourself. Because I don't have a crimper. So yeah, that's going to be the go with that. What else can we do today? So that's on the go. So the next bit will be, yeah, do these 4 hoses on the rams, and they can all get bolted up. Depends on, I might need a couple more fittings. Like, this is what it boils down to. You do 5 minutes worth of work, and then you work out for 20 minutes what other fittings you're missing, and then you go home and order a whole heap of new stuff, wait for it to arrive, and then go again. I'll show you what I'm talking about around here. Wakey camera. So yeah, this fitting, I thought that was 1 inch, but no, it's bigger than that, so I don't think the shifter's going to fit that. I don't think it will. That's a freaking big nut. No, nowhere near. So I've got to bring an even bigger shifter up to undo that. And we've still got to clean the tank out. Yeah, I'll show you the other fitting I've got. I'll just be back. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, this adapter, that's 3-inch diameter outside, 3/4 inside. No go. So I'll have to, I'll measure that before I go. I know you can work it out roughly by the measurements, but it's over 1 inch. It's either 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 inches. So hydraulic people are going to hate me. It's like every Monday they get an order for all these different fittings, and the next Monday they get another order for all these different fittings. It just goes round and round and round. That's what I've been doing. I've been ordering it online, actually from local companies, because I can't be bothered wasting all my time to go out there and get them. So that's that. Yeah, so I think we'll knock that off there. Push this all the way to the outside to clear the seat. Yeah, just got to work out. Yeah, it'd have to be, because if you can see the spools themselves, pressure comes in that side, the spool shuts off and locks the flow off from across the valve and drives it up, or up and out. So that'd have to be, yeah, that'd have to be feed. The problem is, I don't want to hook it up to the wrong way around and find it doesn't work, because then you've made all the hoses to length, and then you've wasted all this hose, because no doubt it'll need to be longer. So yeah, really interested to hear some feedback on that, what you guys think, because yeah, that'd be handy if someone knew for certain. They're the bolts that are going to hold that down. Probably I'm going to put 2 in it. I don't think we really need to go any more than that. And if we go facing forward, that one just goes to nowhere. There's nothing under it to to bolt it to. So that's that. As you can see, well, I probably can't see on the GoPro that the sun's getting pretty low now. So we don't have a lot of daylight left, maybe an hour. Yeah. I don't really want to mount that spool valve yet. I just, yeah, need to work out what I'm doing next before I, lock myself into whichever way it's going to be and then find out I've done it wrong. Nope, we got visitors again. I'll be back. Alright guys, we're all packed up and yeah, done pretty much everything I can. Just retreated back into Land Cruiser here to, get out of that wind. It's bloody cold up here now. What else was I going to say? So I need about another 4 or 5 fittings for that thing that I didn't realise I needed. So need to get online and order a whole heap more. That'd be another few dollars, but that's just the way it goes. I realised actual feed from the pump, I thought it was 3/4. It's not, it's 1 inch. So yeah, that's alright though. I'll just buy the forward most fitting in 1 inch down to 3/4, and that'll solve that problem. What else is there? So yeah, got a few things to make. I've got to get a couple of elbows for the spool valve and work out which way it flows, and then that can go on. Yeah, once I've got a few more things sorted, we can start really, and once I've got a full day to myself, I can punch that out pretty well. So yeah, that's about it for today. Now, I said I've got a bit of a story about this old crane. I went and I bought a set of new used, what are they, 750/16 agricultural tyres for the front of that one. They're pretty much brand new on Ford 4000, I think they're 4000 or something rims. So I rock up at this fella's place and was chatting away to him. I said, yeah, you know, I've got like, I don't know, what have we got now, 7 Fordsons or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm right into Fordsons, blah, blah. And he was just chatting away. He's in his 70s, I think, like fairly old gentleman. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Older gentleman, we'll put it that way. Yeah, and he was chatting away. He's like, oh, yeah, you know. And he mentioned the fella I bought this crane off. He said, yeah, this gentleman had done his time at International Harvester back in the 60s. And he was saying, oh, yeah, I had all these ACO parts like what I've got. And he gave them to the bloke I bought this crane off. I was like, oh, yeah. And then he mentioned, oh, yeah, he's got a Fordson crane. I'm like, yeah, I know, I bought it. And he paused for a second, then his eyes lit up and he said, oh, you bought the stalk, did you? I'm like, the stalk? What? I was a bit taken back, like, what's he on about? And he's like, Clary Johnson, who used to own, you know, who owned this crane when it was new, he said, yeah, he worked for him. He drove this crane when it was new, or near new. So he went on to say, yeah, where Hobart is, there's a suburb above Hobart called Dunerne, and they built a big reservoir, water reservoir up there. And that crane put all the pipes in down into Hobart. So this reservoir in Dunerne fed fresh water, all the plumbed fresh water into Hobart. And yeah, Clary Johnson was obviously contracted to do all the pipe installation, or I'm assuming I don't know exactly how much of it did, but I'm guessing he carted and moved all the pipes into place and then plumbers probably assembled them or whatever. I don't know how far his involvement was, but yeah, he said, yeah, after I left International Harvester, I went to work for Clary. Because apparently Clary had a whole heap of international trucks, and this bloke being obviously trained on them, it worked out really well. That's why Clary wanted him. So yeah, he said, yeah, I've driven that, like, yeah, he drove when it was new. I was like, oh, yeah. Got chatting away about it, and really good to chat to him and stuff. And he said, I mentioned the big bits of steel, like the box section that they'd welded on the front of the boom. Well, I suppose, no, it'd be midway. I don't know if you can see them there. But those big box sections, I asked him about them. He's like, oh, they were for a bucket. What? Said, yeah, after this thing sort of had done it, the contract work, I suppose you'd say, that it was bought for, it was used around the yard for lifting engines out of vehicles and machinery and just general odds and ends. And apparently Clary said to him one day, it's like, well, it's a waste, make it more useful. So he made a bucket for it. I don't know whatever happened to it, but yeah, apparently it had some type of bucket that fitted onto the underside of the boom, and you could use it like a loader. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a very interesting, very Tasmanian thing. Like, everyone knows everyone, yeah, knows of everyone else. But yeah, I did not expect to rock up to this guy's house and here chat to him about one of the machines I've owned, which is, yeah, years and years old, and he drove it when it was near new. So yeah, that was really interesting. He also had a really interesting tractor out there. He had I think it was another Ford 4000, because he had about 3 of them. 2 industrials and 1 ag tractor. The ag tractor he's actually selling, and I was, oh, mind that, but I don't need it anymore. But yeah, it was a Ford 4000, and it must have been the very, very, very early 4000, because it had the same guards as the new Performance Super Major on it, but they're a little bigger, but the same colour, same rear wheels, and it was badged as a Fordson. It had Ford on the front and Fordson on the side. So it must have been the very, very first of them. I have heard that they did do that. I don't know about if they did it everywhere in the world or just here. But yeah, he had one of those, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, just one of those things. It's very interesting, the people you meet, and he was really excited that I had this thing and was going to do something with it. He said, "Yeah, don't modify it or anything." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm just getting it going." So yeah, there's obviously a bit of history that meant a little bit to him. He was nearly going to buy it, but he had no use for it, and the reason he was selling these wheels and stuff is he's downsizing. He's not really doing, much anymore, so he doesn't really need all this stuff. So yeah, he was clearing out a whole heap of stuff. Pity that, yeah, not much of it was really much interest to me, but yeah, it's very interesting the people you meet when you get out and about, especially buying stuff off the internet. So, anywho, I'm going to wrap this up here. Yeah, the usual, like, share, subscribe, blah blah blah, and hopefully next time we'll be starting to fit some new hose and stuff to this. We could have done today, but I'm just running out of daylight and running out of how do you put it, warmth. It's getting pretty cold up here. It probably would have struggled to make it into double digits today, and I'd say she's probably about 7 or 8 degrees now. Oh, no, actually it's pretty cold than that, but not much. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to continue rambling if I don't stop here. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, have fun all, and I'll chat to you guys on the next one.